Professor Shelito Shell Habib. Thank you so much, Nandi. Of course, Professor Nandi Aldaba, a esteemed colleague in Ateneo. That was a very generous introduction, pang commission on appointments. Ano? Pero wala na akong hangat na bumalik pa sa pamahalaan. Well, first, let me dispense with the usual salutations because I'm always afraid I'll miss somebody. So I'll just say magandang hapon sa ating lahat. I'm glad to see fellow members of the Ramos cabinet, former colleagues at the NEDA, my Ateneo colleagues, of course my fellow economists in the UP School of Economics, and I suppose there may be a couple of students here as well. And of course, I'd like to acknowledge members of my family who have taken time out to join me here. My wife Pilar, my granddaughter Carla Habito, who's a student right now at the Philippine Science High School, and my youngest daughter, Carla Melissa Habito's son. She's the one married to a Chinese American. Well, thank you again for having me, and this is really an exciting series, frankly, and truly a good way to re-educate ourselves on the history, the economic history of our country. Now, today I'd like to share some stories with you on what we did on the economy in the 1990s, particularly within the 6-year presidency of Fidel V. Ramos. That's in 1992 to 1998, which of course many of us fondly look back to with a great degree of nostalgia. It was a period when there seemed to be a general feeling of renewed hope in the future of the country, especially as we built further on the accomplishments of the Cory Aquino administration. And that's why my alternate title for my talk today was Fond Memories of an Era of Hope. Well, as many would describe it, President Cory accomplished the restoration of democratic processes, while President Ramos, in turn, more vigorously pursued economic restoration, as the dictatorship had left the country's economy badly battered and lagging behind its erstwhile peers. And it was at that juncture that I found myself entrusted to be the country's chief socio-economic planner at the young age of 39. I used to half-jokingly say then that it probably made sense for President FDR to entrust a planning job to a young person, as I would still be around to suffer the results if the plan was botched. Well, a young planner indeed would have a more direct stake in the plan that he or she formulates. So I humbly took on that task. Now, by the way, please know that since the time of Ernie Pernia at NEDA, the titles Director General and Deputy Director General and Assistant Director General have been dispensed with in favor of the formal cabinet title of Secretary for Socio-Economic Planning, Undersecretary, Assistant Secretary. And the reason for this is that even I, during my time, suffered from the misunderstanding overseas, where the title Director General is usually a third or fourth level rank in the bureaucracy. So it's better that we address Secretary Balisacan now as Secretary Balisacan. By the way, not even Secretary General. So yung parang pinaghalo yung Secretary at Director General. So just for everybody's little information, it was at the start of the term of President Duterte when Ernie Pernia asserted this change. Now, President Ramos started his presidency with a clear vision he wanted to achieve, summed up in two phrases: people empowerment and world competitiveness. And some of us initially hesitated with the word world or global in this phrase, as that might sound rather ambitious or even audacious. So international competitiveness seemed more manageable to some of us. But in the end, those three words were used interchangeably at the time for that second theme of the Ramos vision. And then came Philippines 2000, our take on Japan Inc. at the time, a term widely heard at that time. Now, the phrase did not come from us at NEDA, and admittedly, there was some initial resistance there. At the time, my people perhaps were worried that it might upstage the medium-term Philippine Development Plan, or what we still call the MTPDP at the time, that we had worked so hard on. But as I'll tell you later, after having built bridges already with the people behind the Philippines 2000 trademark, which I'll talk about also later on, I told my people then that we should consider Philippines 2000 as the branding for the NTPDP. And I see my friend and discussant today, Apin Talisayan, smiling broadly because they were the guys behind Philippines 2000.